She's not showing her knickers now, but I gather she is wearing big pants and proud of it. Please welcome Kate Garraway. Do you know what I've noticed in that? It's always Ben Shepherd is always involved somewhere.
He's telling people for years. He's always getting me to flash my knickers. He only has to ask. That's the weird thing.
Especially the first time. Your hand movement to me said a lot, which was like, no, please don't pick me up because you might show that I'm not actually wearing the full underwear
thing. Well, I was, but the thing is that all that went through my mind when he picked me up is, oh my God, I got my phone in my pocket. They then, after we went off air, it was right at the end of the show, put me down. The floor manager's face, Sharon and Dave, they were staring at me. They said, oh my God, that was the worst thing ever. We saw everything. And I was like, what do you mean everything? They said, no, honestly, absolutely everything twice. Because he picked me up and then put me down again. So I had to sit down with the producer, can you imagine the humiliation, and go through frame by frame to see just how bad it was, and it was pretty bad.
It was quite bad.
Yeah,
but why did you not have the proper...
Well, no, because I was wearing the full big knickers, but this is extraordinary detail. But I quite like the ones that I've discovered, that the best ones for me, and we should all embrace them, is the ones that come from right under here, right down. So in order to pop to the loo, you need an element of crotchlessness.
Yes.
So when you're being picked up with your legs splayed apart, it's not what the designer intended them for, and things can be revealed that you don't want.
You don't expect it to be.
No, it's not good.
You didn't know you were going to be picked up. Now,
I didn't know.
This is just one of the stories.
Yes, it's not all about that.
It's in your book, and this is called The Joy. I love this book.
Love it.
Learning to love the rest of your life, and this is, you know, you are approaching the big 5-0.
Approaching the big 5-0, and I guess the knickers are kind of a metaphor that you get to a point in your life, I think, when you embrace stuff that's right for you because it's comfortable and they're big, exactly. And big knickers actually make me feel sexy as well because they smooth the lumps and bumps. So that's kind of why I called it the joy of big knickers. And also I had flashed them on TV. So it was a good place to start. But essentially, I had a big scare, I had a big health scare. I had incredible pains in my chest. Was rushed to hospital. Thankfully, it wasn't anything serious. I just pulled cartilages in my rib cage. But it was really painful. And the doctor looked at it and said, well, at your time of life, you've got to start being more careful. And it started a whole process for me.
Those words?
Those words,
time of life.
Of thinking about what turning 50 meant. You get the moment you think, crikey, even with the best in the world, I've got fewer days left than I've lived, and it's time to do a bit. What do you do? It's true.
It's very depressing.
Well, it isn't depressing because I then went on this massive exploration talking to some amazing men and women who show that actually being 50 is a gift because there's many people that don't get the chance to turn 50. And we're in an incredible era where we have this chunk of life which other generations never have, where we've done a lot of living and learning. And I think if you do a bit of taking stock, make peace with the past,
but
sort it out, you have an incredible time.
You've got some good advice for women especially, of how we can live quite racy stuff.
Well, yes,
I can't even say the word.
You can't even say the words. You're such a lovely girl. That's what I like.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good girl. Yes, so there's all sorts of things that people don't expect you to do when you get older. And I looked in many areas, but one of them is sex and romance and, you know, keeping that lively as we get older and feeling confident about it. And there's fantastic facts about sex. Sex is extraordinarily good for you. It's like if you have 2 orgasms a week, it slashes your heart rate tremendously. And you're laughing.
This is like medical.
It's true. This is fact. This is fact. It does incredible things to make. It changes the cellular. Exercise generally changes the cellular structure of your skin. You can look much younger because of it. It makes you feel good. It talks to your brain. Having sex makes your brain work in a totally different way.
One doesn't want to do it twice a week.
Well, this is a problem. The thing is, I read all of this. I thought this is amazing, but now I feel like sex is a plate of curly kale. I don't want to do it anymore because it's just good for you. You want it to be sexy. So a friend of mine, Sylvie, who's French, and they're always good at these things, aren't they? The French, she says, stereotyping, but you know what I mean. She said she and her partner did something called the 2-week sex experiment. We have sex every day for 14 days.
Yes,
you put sex right.
And then it becomes more of a like.
It's part of your life. Yes, she says.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
But I said to my husband, we're going to do the 2-week sex experiment. He said, what's that? And he said, does that mean I have to have sex every 2 weeks? I was like, no, every day for 2 weeks.
And
then he said, who with? It's got to be with me. You're not getting this.
I was going to say, does it have to be with your husband?
Well, if we're in a relationship, it's probably a good idea for it to be that, yeah.
Listen, we are kind of coming towards the end of the show, sadly, but just generally, in about 20 seconds, what have you learnt about... Are you now embracing the fact you're going to be 50
I am embracing. I think that it's a gift to turn 50, and I think that if we do the right things now, and it's the perfect time to do it midlife, we will avoid sleepwalking into 70 full of regrets, and that's the key,
I've got something that will help you walk in.
Oh, hello.
Looking sexy. You'll have sex every day with my special knickers.